I'm back for my second video. Like I mentioned in my previous one, there are an array of different things I'm going to be covering on this channel. But I am going to just kind of start out light. So for this video, kind of just freeballing it, but it's going to be more of what you should do in your 20s. So I just turned 25 about a week ago. So over these last 5 years, it has been a really good experience for me in terms of my growth, my progression, from a boy to a man, and just a lot of things I learned. So your 20s are really an essential part of the foundation that you're going to be building for the rest of your life. What I mean by that is, you know, kind of like the habits, the disciplines, and the route that you take in your 20s can really either excel you forward or they can hold you back. So the first thing I would probably like to go over is know who you are and know who you're not. The 20s are really a great time to kind of figure this out. You know, whether you choose the college route or you don't go the college route, it's really a good time to do some self-discovery, figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like. And then that will also naturally happen as well as you grow up and you get older. You know, friends you used to be close with, you'll kind of distance yourself from them, and then, you know, you might start getting closer with another group of friends. So it's really a good time to kind of figure out who you are, what you want to do, what you like, what you don't like. But another advice would be you have to be disciplined. This is very, 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 very key, regardless of if you're in your 20s, your teens, and I'm sure it'll apply to your 30s, 40s, and so on. Your emotions are gonna kind of fluctuate throughout different experiences. Your motivation is gonna fluctuate daily, so you can't really be dependent on your motivation to get you up and get going, to chase after, you know, your dreams and goals. It really comes down to the disciplines and the habits that you set every day. And for me, it starts really simple. I wake up every morning. I say a prayer, essentially saying, you know, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to see another day, make my bed, and then, you know, get my day going. Little habits like making your bed, making sure your trash is taken out, making sure your dishes are done, making sure your car is clean, making sure you're clean, making sure you brush your teeth. Kind of like taking care of yourself and taking care of the things around you is very key. But on a higher level, you got to be able to either have some sort of structure where you literally have a schedule of, okay, this is what I'm going to do from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and so forth. And then, you know, after I get off work, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do tonight. You can be that structured with it. Or you can kind of just have, hey, these are kind of like the list of things that I need to do this week. And here are the list of things I need to do today. And just throughout your day, fitting those things into your schedule, just making sure you get them out of the way. You want to be able to get things done. It's a lot harder, you know, let's say, for example, taking out the trash, right? You might not feel motivated enough to take out the trash, but a simple thing you can do is every time you're leaving out of your house, you know, to get in your car or to go somewhere, that's a perfect time to check in your trash, see if it's full, and then just take it out. So just establishing little habits like that will go a long way. What you realize is the older you get, once you start setting really, you know, really big goals for yourself, you realize that the only way to get to these big goals is to kind of break them down into little segments and kind of just knock them out little by little. I know there's a lot of videos and stuff that you see on YouTube or stuff you read that says get rich quick or change your life in 10 days, change your life in 30 days. It's not going to happen. a more realistic approach to it is, what little habits and disciplines can I establish in myself every single day that will get me to my end goal, that will get me to my long-term goal. So it's really, really important that you learn to be patient, that you learn to enjoy the process, and that you take care of those little small habits every day. Because, if you can't do the dishes right and you can't take the trash out right, then what makes you think that one day you're going to be able to own your own company or run an organization or become the superstar athlete? Like, it's not realistic and it doesn't line up. And then another tip would be, before you can start going anywhere in terms of making progress towards your goals, you have to make sure that you get to a place of stability and peace in your mind. Your mind is the most important tool that you have that it can either get you somewhere, or it can bring you down. And it's because you have to be in control of your mind. You have to be in control of your thoughts. You have to be consciously thinking about the people you're around, the decisions that you're making, and how everything's affecting you. So, if you have trauma, pain, breakups, whatever you have to deal with, you just can't bury that and say, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to go out with my friends, party, and not think about it. Or I'm just, go smoke weed and get high, or whatever you do. Like, you have to get to a place where you acknowledge that pain. It's there. You get it out of your mind, whether that's speaking to a therapist, speaking to a close friend, journaling about it, just going through that process of really facing that trauma and that pain head on. And then after that, you can either let that pain and that trauma, because majority of the time it's not just going to magically disappear, regardless of what medication you're taking, what therapy session you're doing, whatever you're doing, it's not going to magically disappear. It'll always be there to a certain extent. But now comes, now you have to make that decision of, am I going to use this to accelerate me and accelerate my growth, and use this pain as a driving factor in my motivation, use it as motivation, or am I going to let it bring me down? Those are honestly the only two options that you have. And obviously for me, I'm really big on faith and prayer. So a lot of, whatever traumas, pains I went through, I give those up to God, and, let him handle it. But at the same time, I also make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I use that in a positive manner. So it's taking the pain, taking the trauma, and using that energy to do something positive, to do something productive, something that's gonna, help me progress and grow. So those are just kind of like my tips in terms of, when you're in your 20s, just kind of doing those things it'll take you a long way, and it'll set a solid foundation for you to grow. And as you do these things, you'll start getting closer and closer and figuring out what you do like, what you don't like. When you do figure out what you do like, you can kind of figure, then you'll be getting closer and closer to figuring out what your purpose is. But in order to do that, you kind of have to set the solid foundation, the solid framework that you can kind of build upon. And, the peace and stability in your mind, the little daily habits that you'll be doing every day, all of those will take you a long way. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have for today.